Hey there, it's David. Welcome back to Cross Fitness, helping men and women get in the best spiritual shape of their lives, one workout at a time. Quick thought in this video that I'm calling "The Presence of Jesus Calms Storms." Okay, so I'm in the Bible, reading in the New Testament about Jesus feeding the 5,000. Really, it was probably more like 15,000 people with the women and the children. But after that miracle, he sends the disciples on across the lake ahead of him while he goes and prays. Later, in the middle of the night, or, they're rowing, they're caught in a storm. You may be familiar with the story. Jesus comes and walks on the water. We got back-to-back miracles going on here, right? And they are terrified, right? It's a storm. They think they're going to drown. These are seasoned fishermen. They live their lives on the sea, and yet they are afraid for their lives, maybe bailing water. And then here comes what they think is a ghost, an apparition, right? And so they call out, and Jesus says, "Do not be afraid, it is I." Wow. And so Peter says, "Hey, if it's you, tell me to come to you." And he said, "Come." And then, of course, Jesus allows Peter to walk on the water in that miraculous thing and join him in that. But, think of it, okay? The wind and the waves. I mean, did you think that like Jesus is walking on a level place, like walking on a frozen pond? Or when Peter gets out of the boat, don't you think that maybe the waves were taking him up and down and up and down? They're just kind of riding on the top of the water, and Peter's going up and Jesus is below him, and then he's going down and Jesus is above him. And I mean, just envision that for a minute. Do you think that could have been possible on the surface of the water? I mean, it was windy, it was wavy, right? Is that a word, wavy? But anyway, it was. And so Peter, he's looking around, he's freaking out, right? And so he begins to sink because doubt enters his mind, and he reaches out to the Lord. "Lord, save me." And Jesus takes him up by the hand and pulls him up out of the water supernaturally on top of the water. They turn, walk back to the boat, and then Jesus says, "Peace, be still." And who is this that even the wind and the waves obey him, right? And that's the response. So, just three things that are just reverberating in my spirit. Number one, it is I. Number two, do not be afraid. Number three, peace, be still. Isn't it wonderful that we have a present and an abiding Jesus that's with us through the wind and the waves of our life, our tumultuous, tempestuous storms of life? Jesus is there, right there. So don't be afraid. He's with us. He would just reach out and hold on to his unchanging hand and just let the shalom of Jesus, the peace of Jesus, comfort you in your storm. You may be going up and down, up and down. Boy, if you were to plotting our lives on an Excel spreadsheet, it's like up and then it's down, it's up and it's down. I get that. That's my life sometimes too. But the one steady thing we have is we have Jesus reaching out to us and saying, "Do not be afraid, it is I. Peace, be still." So I hope that God's presence will calm your storm. Let's reach out to him and say, "Lord, save me." And let's be obedient to him. When he says come, let's come. When he says go, let's go. All right? Well, I hope that encourages you a little bit. Have a great day. For now, I'm David, your virtual mentor, reminding you that I'm always for you. I'm never against you. Take care.